head coach Matt Rhule. Matt, I noticed that Jim Grobe said, and part of the things that he had talked to you about, that he'd spent the last 6 months basically taking all the bullets and everybody's out of ammunition. I'm not sure if that's totally true. There are still some issues to be dealt with regarding the university's handling of some of the sexual assault allegations. But what about what Jim has told you about the culture, the atmosphere there, and some of the challenges you're going to face?
Well, I think Jim Grobe is one of the gentleman coaches of our generation. He's a guy that when I was a young coach I looked up to. So as I went through the process, I talked to him, and I think to try to figure out, hey, what's going to happen next and all, no one never knows, right? I mean, I felt really good about the fact that, the worst is behind us. We're moving forward as a university. The NCAA stepped in and sort of said, hey, we're going to let, Baylor investigate on their own. So I felt great about all that. But Jim told me, hey, this is a great roster, a great place with great people. And so once he told me that, I knew we could build something special here.
This is going to be Jim's final game as a head coach. He's going back and retiring back to Georgia. And, he and his wife, I think maybe there was some family strife when he decided to jump back in coaching, at least for a little while, just a little bit. But Jim is certainly one of the great gentlemen in coaching. Penalty on Boise State backed him up, and out to Sean Modster for the completion. He's up across the first down marker.
Coach, under Browse, we've known Baylor to be big on pass, big offense, not so great on defense. We know you've played linebacker before. What will be different about this team next season and moving forward? What will we see out of this Baylor team?
Well, I hope you see a team that plays really, really hard and plays really physical. I mean, it doesn't, when you see a team that doesn't beat itself, that plays really hard, is really physical, that doesn't require talent. And, eventually we're going to build a team that's dynamic on offense and really, really difficult to defend on defense, to attack on defense. And that's what we did that's what we did at Temple. And that's, as you look around the teams that compete for a national championship, they can play defense and they can run the ball when they need to. And that's, we want to be fun, we want to go fast at times. But when it comes down to the fourth quarter, when it comes down to December, November, we're going to play defense and we're going to be able to run the football when we're running it.
What does that mean in the Big 12 defense when you say play defense? That's a little different than Temple. I mean, how do you play defense? No, just watching this league. I mean, nobody plays defense.
Well, there's not a defense right now in the Big 12 that's in the top 50 in defense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at Temple we were number 3, but yeah, you're right, it's not the Big 12. But we just want to get in the top 50 and then, the top 40 and just climb our way up there. But if you want to be a college football team, look at the best right now. And you look at Alabama and their top 5. Look at Michigan. They look at Ohio State. They can play defense and they're still exciting on offense. And so, to me, it's about, when you come to Baylor, hey, I want to go try to win the Big 12 championship and win the national championship. And to do that, you better find a way to play defense. That's why I'm bringing our defensive staff.
Phil Snow, the defensive coordinator, will take over. 3rd down and 1. Boise State converts, gets it inside the 45-yard line with McNichols.
Coach, you talk about playing defense, and David mentioned that nobody does that in the Big 12. Is that through recruiting or is that an attitude change? You're talking about changing the overall makeup of what a team has believed in the past few years from a defensive standpoint, where it's been basically you're going to be on the field a lot simply because the offense is going so fast.
Yeah, I think if you say you want to play defense, you have to limit the possessions of the offense, and that happens in 2 ways, right? On defense, you have to get off on 3rd down, and on offense, you have to control the ball a little bit. So that'll be a little bit of a departure from a philosophical mindset. But at the same time, it's also how you practice. I mean, we're gonna practice really physical, and I've studied the best in coaching. I've studied Pete Carroll when he was at USC. I mean, to those guys, Tuesdays were harder than Saturdays, and that's what we did when I was under Coach Paterno. That's what we did at Temple, and that's what we'll try to do here at Baylor.
Spurback on the catch, and another 1st down for Boise State. And the Broncos putting together a drive. They get it down to the 32 as Rippon throws one into his senior receiver.
And when you talk about names that you've studied under, and Tom Coughlin's another guy, like who have you taken what from in your coaching background, and really who have you taken the most from?
Well, I've learned from a lot of great coaches. I've been under Steve Adagio, Al Gold, and I went under, obviously, Coach Paterno. But I think my time with Tom Coughlin, it was a short time. But,
1 year, right?
Yeah, just 1 year. But I learned so much from him. And I learned, the plan never changed under Coach Coughlin. Like, he didn't get emotional. You didn't change the schedule, didn't change the plan when you won or lost. The plan was the plan. And whether you won or lost, you made adjustments, but you kept moving forward. He had tremendous relationships. He always had a plan. And I think as a result, we were a very consistent team and consistent coaching staff.
Now, after you lose the departing players and the seniors this year, your roster is going to be in the mid-50s. You have 50, mid-50s, maybe 60 scholarship players going into next year. With that in mind, one of the criticisms that Baylor has faced over the years, non-conference scheduling. What would you like to see Baylor do in the non-conference?
You know what? I think as we progress, you'd like to be able to go out and play some of the top teams in the country. You'd like to be able to take our brand of football and take it on the road. But I'm excited to go play at Duke and play David Cutcliffe and that staff next year. I think there's and here again, I don't even know where I'm living yet, so I'm learning things as I go. But I think there's
Let me find a house first, man.
I think there's an Ole Miss deal. There's a bunch of things down the road, I think. But I know we play at Duke next year, and I have a lot of respect for Coach Cutcliffe as well as some other local teams. But I think anytime you have a good football team, you want to go play the best.
Coach, a couple years ago, I was covering you guys when you were playing at Penn State. And I come on the field, and I'm looking for you on the field. And I keep seeing this ball boy keep running sprints up and down the field. So I decide I'm going to go ask this ball boy, where's Coach Rhule at? I can't find him. I go over, and it's you running sprints. Which coach did you get that from, the sprints before the game?
You know what? I don't work out all week, so I try to make myself feel better right before the game. So I try to make up for the sins of the week. Try to get a couple sprints. And you know what? I'll do that until I can't run anymore. It gets a little bit of the nerves out of my system right before we go play.
So how's the sprint looking? Is it falling off considerably, or are we still staying in good shape?
Well, right now, it's not very good right now. I've been eating, let me tell you something. If anybody wants to come to Baylor, we got the best Tex-Mex Mexican barbecue food I've ever had. So give me a month, and I'll be ready to run again.
Reese got on me and David for wearing jeans in the booth tonight. And as I look, Coach, Reese, are you okay with this outfit that Coach has on?
He's the coach. You're a professional broadcaster, and you're coming in here half-dressed.
I don't know how.
Throw from Rippon to Spurback. Spurback inside the 10 and diving toward the pylon. He stopped just short. It'll be first and goal for the Broncos. Trayvon Blanchard had an interception earlier tonight.
Spurback hadn't had the best night catching the football. Had several drops, but great job catching the football.
He came from the slot. He came from the slot and ran the outcut.
Run out of bounds,
outside
dude.
Receiver ran him off. And really nice route by Spurback. When you watch him play, he's a terrific route runner, and that's why Rippon can always find him. The great route runners make it so much easier for a quarterback to connect with.
Yeah, Spurback stepped out of bounds on the 7, but still first and goal for Boise State.
McNichols time.
Fake to McNichols over the middle. Intercepted. Another underthrown ball in the middle of the field.
Stay in the
and
end
Orion
zone.
Stewart, perhaps with a tactical error coming out of the end zone. That's going to hurt the field position, but it does stop another Boise State drive. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. Wish you the best of luck. And for the first time in their married life, I believe, Matt and his wife Julie are going to sit in the stands and watch a football game together, right?
We're going to hold hands and have popcorn.
There you go.
Well, bring us some popcorn.
Yeah, bring us some, please.
How about
Stewart
that
with the
defense in the
interception.
Big 12, baby?
Matt, thanks a lot.